came as no surprise given the recent weakness in the rand. The Reserve Bank also has been warning that consumer inflation will briefly breach the upper end of its target in the third quarter. All this means the money in your pocket buys less than a year ago.
The inflation rate is not keeping up with salaries, and the salaries doesn't wage to the prices of things going up.
You have got to change your way of life, adjust here and there so that you can manage to buy the basics.
Prices are increasing, and how do you cope with it? You use credit cards, and then your interest rate goes up on your credit cards, so you're just getting more and more debt.
The 84-cent hike in the petrol price at the beginning of July was the main inflation driver. Increases in water and electricity also contributed. Companies will battle to absorb recent price increases.
We're seeing margins being squeezed throughout the value chain, and what this means is that it also hampers economic growth. So a more buoyant inflation environment stemming from the weaker rand definitely has negative implications for GDP growth.
The rand weakened sharply after the release of the CPI numbers, and while the Reserve Bank is not expected to react, the weaker rand is considered the biggest upside risk to inflation.
We need to get the rand to stabilize, and it doesn't matter where it stabilizes. It can, as long as at that level it remains anchored for some period, then that would bring some stability in the price environment.
Consumers have been urged to spend on absolute necessities and to live within their means to weather the inflation storm. Liuta Motlogelwa, SABC News, Johannesburg.